Hello there. I'm the Dragonator, and I like fairy tales. People usually celebrate Thanksgiving by telling them what they're thankful for, and one of the most common things to be thankful for is family. Today's tale is going to be very fitting when it comes to being thankful for family, and it is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So without further ado, let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a 7-year-old girl named Sara Crewe who only had a father, as her mother died when she was very young. She was to move to London from India to be a student in Miss Minchin's Select Seminary for Young Ladies. As the two talked with Miss Minchin, they would discuss the kinds of things Captain Crewe would bring Sara, like a doll named Emily. Eventually, the two would part ways, already missing each other. During the years, she would become best friends with Ermengarde, a fellow student, Lottie, another student without a mother, and Becky, one of the scullery maids. She would tell them stories of adventure and wonder, much to the dismay of other students, Lavinia and Jessie. Over time, Miss Minchin didn't like Sara, but would keep that to herself since Sara was born from a rich family. Captain Crewe would write of his adventures as well to send to Sara, the latest one being of a discovery of a diamond mine. Since the letter arrived, it was Sara's 11th birthday. Miss Minchin spared no expense on the birthday party, thinking Captain Crewe was going to pay her back. Unfortunately, Captain Crewe's lawyer went to see Miss Minchin to bear unfortunate news that Captain Crewe passed away from illness. Not only that, but the diamond mine was a dud. All at once, Sara's world flipped and turned and was ruined. She had no money, no family, no home to go back to once she graduated from the seminary. Miss Minchin wanted to keep her reputation and her school's reputation, so she forced Sara to join Becky in the attic of the building as a scullery maid. As she was running errands for the seminary, a large family took pity on her. One member, the son, who was only 5, gave her some money. She didn't want it, but he insisted. Over the course of the story, they would keep an eye on her every once in a while. 2 people would move in right next door to the seminary. Mr. Carrisford and his servant Ram Das, a man from India, with his pet monkey, who would sometimes sneak into the attic of the seminary. Mr. Carrisford had a lawyer in town, the father from the large family in particular, and he was absolutely heartbroken. He had no idea where his colleague's only child was. He was determined that the child was close by. He just wasn't sure where. Despite everything that had happened to Sara, in the middle of her cold, lonely life, she would still lend a helping hand. For example, she gave most of the loaves of bread she could buy to a girl outside of the bakery, starving and cold herself on a snowy day, as she was running errands for the seminary. She would still tell stories of the origins of the Indian servant's monkey, as well as other adventures, and find a companion in one of the mice that scurried around the attic. You know, classic fairy tale stuff. You know what's even more like a fairy tale? When no one's in the attic, nice food would be on the table. Sara and Becky never knew where it came from, but they had a feeling it was some kind of magic. Packages would also arrive for the little girl in the attic. She would have her spirits rise, even for only a moment, as they were very nice things. The big family was known as the Carmichaels, and Mr. Carmichael would go to the ends of the earth to find the child Mr. Carrisford was looking for, even Russia. As the child in Russia was not the child he was looking for, it was back to square one. Ram Dass had an idea about maybe it's the girl in the attic. Even if it wasn't the child he was looking for, surely he would allow visits and nice meals every once in a while. Poor thing. After much discussion, it turned out Sara Crewe was the child Mr. Carrisford was looking for. Turns out the diamond mine was not a dud. There were actually a lot of diamonds in the mine, and Sara Crewe had half of all of the diamonds in that mine. Talk about riches to rags to riches. As soon as Mr. Carrisford could, he would move Sara to his home, allow Becky to live with them as well, and all the children, even the poor girl without any bread from earlier, would live happily ever after. Thank you for watching! Fun fact, this story was one of the first books that I ever listened to while riding in a car in long road trips. It was so much fun to listen to. I knew that it was a story before, but I had no idea that it was a public domain story before then. I think that the next story will be a lot of fun as well. It's going to be one that I had no idea was a public domain story either until actually last year. So, with all that said and done, stay safe, have a very good rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!